Hello, hello, hello. We're looking at the brand new Tardis Wiki, and it is beautiful. I love this layout so much. I don't know. I like how the colors sync with the. I can't see it here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I like how the colors sync with this new new logo here. It's very nice. It's very nice. Hello, welcome. I'm gonna be roaming around the Tardis Wiki today. We might be hitting some random pages. I might be doing some articles that you might be requesting. I'm not sure which way this is gonna go. It's very exciting. I haven't done these in quite a while. In fact, it's been such quite a while that this has apparently regenerated, as it says here, and it's now under a completely different domain name, TardisWiki. And hello, Bruce. It's now TardisWiki, and you should head down there because yeah, it's way better. And one of the things that's way better, and I'm really excited about, is they added a random page button right here, and I'm very excited about that. Very excited about hitting random on the Tardis Wiki. So yeah, without further ado, we should probably get started. New wiki indeed. I love it. I think it looks great. I think it looks absolutely great. I prefer looms over Time Lords having human gender. Just to note, if I'll leave the stream at some point due to situations. Fair enough, Nordic Doctor. Let's begin. If anyone has anything they'd like me to look up, put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm kind of just gonna move to my own drum on this, and I think it would be a good idea to. There is no gender, only loom. Yes, very true. Let's go. I'm going to just start with a random page, I think, until I see something. Someone put in Beverly Hillbillies, so we'll look at that after this one. Okay. Brilliant. The Brilliant was a 40th century starship that was infamous for having that. Why does it look like a sailing ship? That's amazing. I tell you what, I love spaceships that look like sailing ships. It's a very particular niche of like spaceship, and it's a wonderful niche. So I'm already a fan of this, and I think that this has been a brilliant page to start with. The Brilliant was built to look like an old-fashioned sailing ship. The first-class sections were finely crafted, though sparsely furnished. The crew area and engine rooms were much more compact. The bridge was more like an office, with a horseshoe-shaped room filled with computers. There were transmat booths connecting the engine room and the bridge. Oh, that's really convenient. You can get back really quick and forth. You know what I mean? Isn't it really cool that we like invented transmats in like the 18th century? I think so. Talk about authenticity. How about sailing ships that look like spaceships? Those are cool too. Like, have you ever seen those American Civil War like Ironside ships? Those look very like futuristic and stuff. That was the first thing that came to mind, and then we kind of abandoned that because we made better shit, as it tends to go. The mechanics who worked on the Brilliant were genetically crafted to have the what? Why? Instead, they had holes for eating. That's what a mouth is. A mouth is a hole for eating. This made it impossible for them to talk back to their superiors, but also unable to warn them of dangers such as attacks by pirates. Womp womp. The Brilliant was also had an experimental engine which allowed it to skim across the vortex, allowing it to travel much faster than other shit. That's cool. Look, skim across the time vortex even. Type 60 TARDISes. I'll look at that in a minute. Actually, I'll look at that right now. Let's do that. But someone else said Beverly Hillbillies, so I'll do that one first. Sick. That's amazing. Alright. Beverly Hillbillies. Let's do this. Beverly Hillbillies were planned to be reported on in a new comic for girls, which would be edited by Lady Penelope Grayton. What? Spagger. It's an absolute bagger. The Beverly Hillbillies were the titular characters in The Beverly Hillbillies, which had a UK exclusive comic spin-off in the 1960s. The family consisted of Jed Clampett, his daughter Ellie Mae Clampett, his maternal grandmother Granny Moses, Ellie's cousin Jeffro Bodine, and Jeffro's mother Pearl Bodine. In TV Century 21 and its spin-off Lady Penelope, the Clampetts are treated as real people who Lady Penelope gets acquainted with. However, Time Barrier Busted is the only story with any Doctor Who universe connections to reference them. Oh. Do you know anything about the life of Morton Dill? No, I don't know anything about that. Do we know anything about that? About the life of Morton Dill before the chase? I'm sure that it's got something on it, right? We can take a look. We can always take a look. Someone said Type 60 TARDISes. So we'll try that. Take a quick look. Oh. This one, yeah? Okay. I do that one. Oh, they were like sailing ships too? Type 60 was a type of TARDIS used by the Time Lords. It was more advanced than the Type 40 and had a different security lock compared to the older model time ship. Type 60s had failsafe and security mechanisms, and they contained a switch which would shut down the ship. The renegade Time Lord known as Anzor used the Type 60 TARDIS. The Corsair's TARDIS, which they named the Esperanza, was a Type 60 according to this account. The Type 60 TARDIS model was old, and newer models were available, but the Corsair favoured the TARDIS as a vintage model. So this is the... Oh, okay. Kyotzal's TARDIS was believed to be a Type 60 TARDIS, which he had managed to obtain from Gallifrey, but Kyotzal had modified the ship so it wouldn't be detected by the High Council, and by that point, he no longer views his TARDIS as a TARDIS. Love the Corsair, the best Time Lord we've ever seen, or lady. Do we know anything about the life of Morton Dill? That's the next thing I'm going to look up. Morton Dill! Let's take a quick looky look. Alright, Morton C. Dill was an American human. What are those? That's an obscure Doctor Who. What's the human? Dill was from Alabama. At school, he was nicknamed Dill the Pill because he was rather hard to take. Oh no! Getting roasted from like his earliest youth. My goodness. Poor Morton Dill. Oh well, at least it can't get any worse. A comment on his personality and habit of speaking without thinking. Pros, the chase. Okay. He saw a number of illusions performed, including long police cars coming out of small wooden sheds. In 1966, Dill visited New York City as a tourist. Whilst on the Empire State Building's observation deck, he encountered the First Doctor, his companions Ian Chesterton, Barbara Wright, and Vicky Pollister, and a Dalek. What was a Dalek, his companion? He assumed they were all actors and were not seen by anybody else. His behaviour seemed very odd, prompting the tour guide to fetch a policeman and ask another tourist to ensure he did not jump, calling him a nutter. After explaining what had happened to the two guards, he was locked up in the Newman Rehabilitation Clinic in 1967, where he became a permanent resident. Jesus. The Dalek he had met had decided that such a life would be far worse than killing. Jesus. Morton Dill was played by Peter Purves, who began his tenure as companion Stephen Taylor in the 6th episode of The Chase. Oh. Oh no! Oh no! Oh dear. That went very poorly for Morton, didn't it? I think I'm going to do a random page now. Now I'm sad. Alright, let's go. DWM 36. The 36th issue of Doctor Who Weekly had a cover date of 19th of June 1980. Oh, that's okay. Let's take a look. Let's take a broader look at this. Oh, I see there's some sort of robot dude. And there's some sort of sorceress lady. Got the classic green and purple villain look. So I assume that they're like not a good guy. That would be my assumption there. It looks like some sort of crystal ball. And then someone on their knees, prostrating before them, saying, "Oh dear." Yes, oh dear indeed. Oh dear indeed. It seems like you've picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies there. I would say. I feel like this one might not be a winner, guys. Gotta be honest. So, he was just an eccentric man. He didn't deserve this. You mean Morton Dill? Yeah, absolutely. He absolutely didn't deserve that. I think that's, like, really, really overtly grimdark. And, like, I'm not here for it, to be honest. Yeah, not a huge fan of that. It's a little bit VNAs for me. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Banger. So yeah, if you have any like suggestions for things you want me to look up, please put it in the chat. For now, we're going to take a look into the Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a book concerning Henry Jekyll and his alter ego, Edward Hyde. According to most accounts, it was a novel by Robert Louis Stevenson. According to most accounts! Where is this going? Released soon before the 1890s, it was fiction, albeit potentially based on real events. Oh my god. Oh my god, I see that the expanded universe has picked this one clean. However, another account suggested that Henry Jekyll and Edward Hyde had really existed. The book was an account of real events written by Utterson, an old friend of Jekyll's. According to one account, Stevenson wrote The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde after an encounter in 1885 with the Time Lord Rollo, who told him about an adventure he'd been involved with. Game, the Hunter's Home from the Hill. Oh, a game? It's interesting. It's the rarest kind of deep lore. The Bloodletters. Okay, I'll look that up in a minute. Do you know the backstory of Clive? I don't know the backstory of Clive. We're going to learn the backstory of Clive today, I think. Yeah, we'll learn the backstory of Clive. We'll do that in a bit. I'm excited about that one. That one's going to be a good one. Okay. I am a little bit intrigued by this though, so I'm going to look at this a little bit more. Who told him about an adventure he'd recently been involved with, which concerned a reputed physician named Henry Jellicoe. Jellicoe had been possessed without his knowledge by a Lytian symbiote who influenced him to drink a will-sapping drug, which allowed it to take control of Jellicoe's body and physically alter it to a more bestial form. Adopting the alias of Ned Hines because the alien had blocked out his memory of originally being possessed, Jellicoe believed he had invented the drug himself and that Ned Hines was an artificial alter ego. Huh. So you just did the story of Henry Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde. And, no, that was right. What am I doing? That is actually the correct title. Oh my god, Ryan, you're such an idiot. Did you know that I'm well read? I'm extremely well read. Yeah, that's just taken the story, changing the character names, and then adding an alien as like the causal effect of the inciting incident. It's very, very standard Doctor Who, I have to say. Hey, James! Sadly, I won't mention the weird comic I did since the page it's not in. Oh! What weird comic did you do? You can't just leave that hanging like that. What weird comic did you do? Jellicoe believed he had invented the drug himself and that Ned Hines was an artificial alter ego. Rollo had never heard of Stevenson or the Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and did not realise the significance of his conversation with Stevenson until he walked back to his TARDIS and was shown the book by his companion Verica. Oh no. Oh no, it sounds like Rollo did a big dumb there. Who's Rollo? There's a lot of renegade Time Lords running around. Rollo. Oh, I'm not even attempting to say that. most commonly called Rollo, was a part-time renegade time. Why do you be a part-time renegade Time Lord? How does that work exactly? It's just sometimes he's on the clock. Sometimes he's at the High Council, like doing bureaucracy and shit. And sometimes he's off doing this. How does that work? Why do they let him do that? Why are there so many renegade Time Lords as well? That's also a good question. Could you zoom out slightly, or oh, is the right edge cut off? Oh, I can sort that out. 1 second. I can absolutely do that for you. How's that, guys? Is that better? I feel like that's better. The new font gives me a headache, so I am going to go. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, lab. Just found out that there has been an entire 3rd season of Resident Alien on Sci-Fi, and I didn't even find out about now. The latest season really went under the radar for some... I know, I didn't even know there was a 2nd season of that. Oh my god. I love Resident Alien. That was great. That was a great show. I tell you what, really good practical effects as well on like that, the suit. I'm assuming it was a suit. It looked like a suit. Someone's gonna send me a picture now of Alan Tudyk just wearing a suit of balls now. Tennis balls. As you asked, it starts with Jenny says drink Gevity since the next character's hard to find on the keyboard. Which bit of the font? I think that they're gone. I think you lost them. I'm sorry. Also, look at Dark Universe. It's an audio drama starring Ace, who was in Torchwood. I can look at that real quick. I can look at that, man. Let's go. Dark Universe audio story. Let's do that. Okie dokie. The 2nd season had 16 EP episodes. 3rd season had 8 episodes. Oh. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. You want more episodes, surely. Dark Universe was the 260th story in Big Finish's monthly range. It was written by Guy Adams and features Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor, Sophie Aldred as Ace, Mark Bonner as the 11. Oh, this is going to be fun. Caroline Pickles as Cardinal Elistra, and Damian Lynch as Rasmus. It was the first in a trilogy of stories pitting the 7th Doctor against another rogue Time Lord. The 11 has a plan, a grand plan, an appalling plan, a plan that endangers all life in the cosmos. With Ace working for the enemy, the Doctor must rely on scheming Time Lord Cardinal Elistra for help. The stage is set for an epic confrontation. Because the Doctor has a plan to stop the 11, a grand plan, an appalling plan, a plan that endangers all life in the cosmos. Whichever one of them wins, the Dark Universe won't want to lose. Sounds great. That sounds fun. Kind of want to listen to that now, actually. Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right, let's see if I've got any more. It's an audio drama starring Ace, who was in Torchwood. What? She was in Torchwood? Where's that little bit of information? Let's see. Oh, this is pretty recent, yeah? Right, you know what I mean by recent. I mean not made like 20 years ago. Currently watching season 2 of The Wheel of Time, enjoying it at the moment. The Wheel, you say? The 11 said if the 4 was clever, he would still be wearing his face. It's a good diss. Alright, let's look up Monkish Coven. Okay. I can do that. Absolutely. Right, I'm going to take a quick sip of this wawa. And then we are going to continue. The wheel! I'm sorry, I'm not sure if there's a way to do the wheel on this one. I know you guys love it so much. You could maybe like fight over which article I'm going to pick, and then I'll have to settle it with a wheel, but that's the only scenario I can see where the wheel's going to come into play, unfortunately. But he's going to be back on Thursday, so you got that to look forward to. Monkish Coven. The so-called Monkish Covens, or minor This stream is in honor of the wheel. I know I'm the wheel's co-star. Oh dear. The so-called monkish covens, or minor committees, were cults in the capital on Gallifrey who worshipped Rassilon. According to the Fifth Doctor, there were hundreds of them, with a variety of perspectives on Rassilon. Some viewed him as a saint or a great engineer, and one even considered him a kind of cosmic traffic warden, who was nevertheless deserving of worship. There was also one which believed him to have secretly been a vampire. This is a really good one. Well done. This is an absolute banger one. Fittingly known as the Cult of Rassilon the Vampire. Oh my god. Which prophesied the coming of the vampire messiah. The Doctor's childhood friend, Ruaf, was a member. Prose goth opera. That's amazing. Oh dear. That is absolutely incredible. Oh god. Jenny Everywhere is an interesting one, not completed though. I will look at it after this one. Absolutely. When a different member of the Cult of Rassilon the Vampire... I should make that canon in the Something Blue Audio universe. It wouldn't contradict anything I've done so far. Alright. The Fifth Doctor record how those monkish covens had gone before, seemingly referencing his old enemy the monk, once a member of a scholarly college based in the capital. That's great. While in the context of the original TV story, the monk's nickname seemed to simply be based on his current disguise on Earth, a deleted chapter from Paul Cornell's own novel, No Future, elaborated on the link between the Rassilon worshipping covens and Cornell's version of the monk's backstory and identity, Mortimus. I'll take a look. Mortimus was an agent of the Celestial Intervention Agency, recruited from his contemplations in the Order of Rassilon. They made him literally a monk. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, the meddling monk's defining trait is not that he is a monk. Those monks who kept alive the works of the hero, he had intervened on several worlds, directing them away from the dangerous courses that had embarked upon with the bullet and the knife. There is no canon, only loom. Okay, I'm gonna do Jenny Everywhere, and then I'm gonna do Poggett, because that sounds amazing. Thank you, James. Oh dear. Mrs. Poggett seems to have far more lore than I remember. Oh, I don't even know what that is, so this is going to be exciting. Jenny Everywhere, also known as the Shifter, was an individual who seemingly existed in every universe capable of supporting life. It was typical for a Jenny to share memories and feelings with her counterparts, as well as her ability to reliably shift between universes physically. Jenny had a... I'm sorry. Jenny had also accrued a corduroy of friends and foes, such as Dr. Laura Drake, a best enemy whom Jenny shared a romance with, and Jenny Nowhere, an icy mirror image of herself. Jenny sounds like a Doom Patrol character. She sounds a lot like Jenny Quantum to me, actually. Very, very similar, actually. Who is actually a DC character, yeah, I think, now. I think DC owns Wildstorm Comics. I think they do. Yes, they do, because I remember getting really angry about it in New 52 because they ruined Apollo and Midnighter. Yeah, I know. I remember now. I remember now. I guess that is proof that, if anything else, anger does in fact fade away with time. Incarnations of Jenny existed in several known universes, such as the 38,167th universe, and the... I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to attempt that. Hang on, is that pie? Okay, that's clever. Jenny was friends with 3 members of the embodiments of the Void, namely Lord Thyman, Lady Spacium, and Squire Psycho, and was friends with all 33 abstracts. Jenny over there had no relation to Jenny everywhere. Why is there so much lore on? This is great. This is fantastic. Oh my god, not writers writing each other's work and changing it a bit. Yeah, no, they did Midnighter and Apollo dirty. It was a travesty. It's not pi, that would be 314159. Oh, thank you for correcting me. That's true. It's true. I don't know. I saw the 314. I made a bold assumption. And it was an incorrect assumption. That's what happens sometimes when you make a bold assumption. Jenny's a crossover character. She's her own open source online project like the SCP Foundation. Naturally, she's had a number of... Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Oh, I have to look into that. That's quite intriguing. Okie dokie. So, yeah, that's like really interesting. Huh. Okay. Anyway, please... I haven't done that one, actually. I'm gonna... Plume Coteries Library. I haven't done that one. But I'm doing Poggit now. It is nice to be like one ahead, though. This is fun. This is good. Oh no, I opened it in a new tab by accident. That was foolish of me. Oh. Is there a lot of lore associated with Mrs. Poggit? Oh dear, I hope I don't see major spoilers on that page. Oh yeah, I know. Mrs. Poggit was an elderly human living in Upper Ledworth. Mrs. Poggit lived in an old folk people's home with the rest of the pensioners of Upper Ledworth. I didn't do the blood letters, that's true. Thank you for reminding me. In the fake world created by the Dream Lord, Mrs. Poggit's body was taken over by an Echnodyne, a member of an alien race who fled their world and lived in the bodies of old people, keeping them alive for many years. When the 11th Doctor, Amy Pond, and Rory Williams woke up in the dream world, she asked the Doctor if he could try on the jumper she was knitting for her nephew. As he did, he examined her, saying that she was really old, older than any normal human, before he fell asleep again. Soon they noticed Mrs. Poggit walking to the children's playground and wondered what she wanted. Okay. Are Echnodyne like an actual thing, or was that just created by the Dream Lord, though? Like, are they a real, like, species? An identical Echnodyne inhabited elderly woman had several encounters with who were exactly. Well, we can't check now because I have 2 more to do. The day before, Eurovision singers Jedward paid a visit to headquarters to report that they had lost their voice and would need someone to fill in for them. With help from Mrs. Tinkle and Nervik, Jedward auditioned several acts, including a Cyberman, Sontaran, and Echnodyne. The trio were formed into a group and performed together, with Jedward exclaiming they deserve maximum points, whereas Nerval suggested they earn null from the jury. I was really sick on the writer Doctor Who from scratch, and I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm like mostly good. Still a little bit like, though. Flea's like really sick though. She's got like a fever and stuff, so pray for Fee. Let's see, the blood letters. This one, yeah? I'm sure it's this one. If it's not, then you can correct me though, I guess. The Bloodletters was a novella by Ryan Fogarty, published in May 2020. What is this? Huh. There are so many, like, weird corners of the Doctor Who universe. Alright. It featured a number of DWU elements licensed from their creators, principally showcasing the characters of Garglespike and Zadok, created by David Llewellyn for one of his contributions to the Brilliant Book of 2012. Also featured under license were the Caxterids from Kate Orman's Virgin New Adventures novels, the planet Pelagos from Meglos. This is really cool. This is a really cool idea. I really like this. The planet Pelagos from Meglos, the Stegosians and Archopolis from Lance Parkin's The Eyeless, miscellaneous species and elements from William H. Keefe's Fassa Doctor Who role-playing game modules, and even an authorized allusion to BBB production spin-off character, the Chiropodist. It's the Chiropodist. Oh my god, this is amazing. What's that in the comments? Peak, I tell you. It seems very peaky. This looks sick. This is peak Doctor Who lore. That's what this is. It's a foot doctor. Oh, Bill Bags. Come on. Okay. The story also prominently featured public domain characters from Golden Age pirate comics, redesigned in a science fiction setting. These included the Corsair Queen, alias Lila Evans, from the 1951 Buccaneer Comics number 25, and the Corsair, alias John Gallant, as debuted in 1946's A1 Comics number 3, who emerged into a singular gender-fluid figure who served as the protagonist. Despite the obvious similarities, the Corsair and their mentor, known as the Monk, and likewise drawn from the 1950s comics, should not be confused with the established BBC characters of the Corsair and the Monk. That's fucking amazing. I love that so much. Danger comes with the tide. A shipwrecked traveller seeks help on a slow-tech planet. Instead, he finds a village where the local pub caters to vampires. It's a very vampire-y day today, isn't it? Something sinister lurks under the surface. Something strange lurks in the neighbourhood. Can the traveller unravel the mystery, stop the vampires, and save an attractive local boy from their clutches before they both end up on the menu? Blood, fire, and the clink of pins will roar like thunder before the tide rolls out again. Absolutely magnificent. I love it. I completely love it. Right, what was the next one I was supposed to do? What was the next one I was supposed to do? So I did Poggett. It was Plume Coteries Library. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will put that in. The vampires feels like they would fit in the new direction of Doctor Who. Yeah, they would. They would. Vampires are cool. Anyway, I won't say anything else. Right, Master Librarian, Plume Coteries Library. Here we go. The Plume Coteries Library, or often simply the Library, was one of several places that claimed to be the biggest library in the universe. It was tended by the Plume Coteries, hence their nickname as bookkeepers, and allegedly had a copy of every book ever written. The Bookworm once summed it up as, "It's not quite the Library of Babel, but it's home." It's cute. I like that. What is that? What is this? Is this what they look like? Are they like big birdie boys? Big birdie boys? Oh, I want one. Oh my god, the little cactus guy too. I love Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who so much. Look at the little cactus guy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Beautiful. They fly on big birds, so the cactus guys are the bookkeepers? And the birds are like their little helper friends? Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the best one. It's got to be the best one by default. Nothing can compete with this. Wow. No, no. To the video guy. What? What? Why are we knowing in the chat? What have why is this about to turn horrific? Okay. The library was hyperdimensional and was infinitely tall and infinitely wide. It was located outside the universe proper, being one of the many mini-worlds, pocket dimensions, and bottle universes which orbited it. There were two known entrances, the Cosmic Gate and the Void Gate, which admitted interdimensional travelers from the wider Omniverse. Its endless shelves were stocked with an infinite amount of books, including, in theory, infinitely many copies of any given book. So there's infinite books, and there's also infinite copies of every book. So it's like infinity squared. It's a lot of books. As in, the cactus is not a bookkeeper. What's the cactus? Is the cactus like a guest? Someone explain this picture to me. Someone explain this picture to me. I need to know. I need to know what the context of this is, because it's an amazing image. It's very striking. I will say that. Like, that's the kind of thing that just makes you want to know more. Look up Koloth then. I will. Is this just the rest of the stuff about it being a big library? Because that's cool. Being outside the universe proper, the library and denizens were able to interact with people in events related to the war and oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that. Okay, let's look up Koloth. There's like a little bit of me. There's a little bit of me that wants to do a video about the war in heaven, like an in-depth one, a proper one. You've seen my proper ones. But like, I'm scared. If I did a war in heaven video, is that something that people would like want to watch? Is that something you guys would want to watch? I'm interested to know. Genuinely interested to know. You've heard of Cabbage Man, well now there's Cactus Man. That's true. War in Heaven mentioned, take a shot. Every time! That's true! You can't escape the War in Heaven. You could fit it into a single video. I think I could do a series of videos. I could probably do like a 5-hour long video, but I'm not doing that. And I don't think my computer could take it, to be honest. She's a salty old girl. But I could do like, I could probably do like fucking 10 or 20 videos about the War in Heaven. There's so much. Rassilon Productions started a series of videos and gave it up after one. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I think I might have to give it a go. Koloth gave up on a planet home to his people, the Ulkra, through Nameless, as far as the Time Lords knew. Pros, war crimes! It was referred to as Ulk by the bookworm. That's cute. I like that. I like that a lot. As per tradition, the soothsayer Ugref practiced the prophetic rite on his egg and predicted that he would have a long and glorious future, which would indeed have been his original timeline if not for the alien interference in his life. He had an older sister named Ochon, who once let Koloth taste reed wine. He's so cute. He's so cute. I love his face. I love his little cactus face. He looks like a jack-o'-lantern. It's great. 5 hours, say it sounds very JXy. I like the two YouTubers name dropping in a row there. I love this chat. Tasked by the chief male of his clan, a young Koloth underwent a rite to become considered a warrior. He went out into the wild with the goal of killing a beast and bringing back its pelt. However, Koloth was captured by Usu Male. Is that male or Male? An Ulkra, augmented by the warlords for the war games, and returned to Koloth's homeworld by the Time Lord High Council. Koloth was kept trapped in woven vegetation for a period until, or orders from, the warlord programming. Jesus Christ, this poor cactus man. Ossos brutally murdered Koloff by slicing him open with his paws. Oh my god! Oh my god! Caused by the Archon's decision to return Koloff to the planet instead of simply dematerializing him. Koloff's death was recorded as an alteration in history, facilitating the political use of the one dissenter who had argued in vain against returning to the modified soldiers to their home area. Ah. Resurrection as the cactus-skinned boy. Oh! Oh, now we're getting into the meat of things. Now we're getting into the real flesh of things. The cactus flesh, even. Koloff was later resurrected, remembering that his family, friends, and home planet were perfectly fine. He had died a horrible death. I love Doctor Who. He claimed that this was a long story, and this was part of a program by the post-human bookkeepers of the Plume Coteries Library to time ladle witnesses. What the fuck is a time ladle? To historical events and then transfer their consciousness into holocubes from which they could project hard light avatars. In his new life, Koloff had the ability to appear however he wished, including being known to adopt such forms as a young man who looked exactly like Harry Styles from the band One Direction, or a massive writhing ball of tentacles. His most favourite appearance, however, resembled a cactus-skinned... So he chooses to look like that. That's awesome. I love this dude. He's a king. I don't know, new favourite Doctor Who character, I think. Onto Koloff, I see. Yeah. Yeah, we're on to Koloff now. I just learned what Koloff is. Oh dear. Alright. Where are we? Where are we on this? If anyone has any other suggestions, by the way, please put them in. I am enjoying this one. This one's good. As ambassador, oh my god, what a life. What a life. Oh dear. I make a Koloff video. I think in a serious answer though, about the war in heaven thing, I think this Koloff spinner series has finally started and it's fantastic. It's a series? Oh my god. There is actually enough to make a video out of this. Amazing. The war in heaven video, I think I'll do like an overview video and see how like the general audience of Something Blue like responds to it, because I mean you guys obviously like the hardcores, but you know, people be what's the word I'm looking for, fickle. The algorithm's a fickle mistress, although I think it could do pretty well. Durian is interesting, but then I wrote the page. Let's check out your page then. Page then. That's the fruit that smells really bad, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that durian is a fruit that smells really bad. Hold on. Let me take a look in another tab really quickly. Durian, ambassador of Szechuan, later governor of Tanto, then Witch Prime of Szechuan, was a power-hungry individual who sought to rule Szechuan, Tanto. These names, man. Oh, I was right, by the way. The durian fruit smell has been compared to garbage, raw sewage, and sweaty socks. In fact, durian smells so pungent that it has famously been banned from public transit, airports, and hotels in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and other locales. Oh dear. Okay. So this guy is named after a fruit that smells horrible. And for some reason looks like Paul McGann. Why does he look like Paul McGann? What is this? Why is that Mark Gatiss? What is this? Guys, what is this? It's not Mark Gatiss. It just looked a lot like this. Who is that? I recognize him. That's the dude from, who is that? Pulp McGann, if you will. That's a really good joke. Well done. Oh. Banger comedy. It's the Blackadder guy. Yeah. 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 Oh my god, I thought I recognized him. I really was like, I thought it was Mark Gatiss in second. I mean, you know, we're white dudes. We all look alike. Let's let's have a look. What is this? What is this though? What is this? Why is there a webcast? What is the Minister of Chance? What is all of this? Oh my god. You guys are showing me gold in this one. This is great. Do I have to say? I mean, it's good to know. I have to say, I feel like I've got my next 3 videos like sorted from just look. I just have to rewatch this stream like after the fact. This is amazing. Thanks, guys. You good? Check the Minister of Chance series page. I will do that right now. The Blackadder guy was the Ood hair tonic guy, I believe. He was! Yeah! The Minister of Chance also, he looks like Stephen Fry. Oh! That's why he looks like Stephen Fry. Okay. The Minister of Chance, often simply the Minister, was a renegade. Pardon me. Was a renegade Time Lord acquainted with the Seventh Doctor. As a man with a bent nose, the Minister of Chance had a place in 2 distinct versions of reality, where he was one of the last of the Time Lords in the post-war universe. He was foreseen as one of the 4 surviving elementals, alongside the Emperor, I know that's the Doctor, I watch Broke Canon, the man with the rosette, and a blonde woman. While in a version of reality where the 7th Doctor sacrificed himself to stop Tardis, he was a member of the surviving group of Time Lords who had sworn off usage of their powers, only to have the TARDIS revoked by the Doctor for misusing his powers as a god of the Fourth. And is that all there is? We got nothing else? Because there's this little bit. Atoning for his mistakes, the Minister of Chance's next incarnation travelled using the formula for doors. Due to the loss of is the formula for doors like a legally safe not TARDIS? Because that's what it sounds like. There's a series page. Okay. Let me take a look. Minister of Chance. That's that one. That's those words. Now let's put this word in there and see if that helps. I'm hoping it does. That would be nice. The formula for doors is a way to access the Bifrost. Oh! Oh, that is fun, actually. I like that. That's a very imaginative, not TARDIS. It's good. Which one am I looking at? I'm looking at this one, right? Okay. We can do that. The Minister of Chance was a series of fantasy, audio, and video stories written by Dan Friedman and produced and released by Radio Static. The series centered on the eponymous minister, who was introduced in Friedman's second Doctor Who webcast Death Comes to Time, and his involvement in court intrigue on the planet Thea. The eponymous main character, the Minister of Chance, is portrayed and characterized consistently, with his debut appearance in Death Comes to Time. Although this series he was played by Julian Wadham rather than Stephen Fry, initial promotional material for the series explained this by describing him as a defrocked Time Lord, now in his second regeneration. The events of Death Comes to Time are alluded to as a tragedy in the Minister's past, and following from the Seventh Doctor's revocation of his TARDIS in that story, the Minister travels through time and space by the specific formula for doors. Huh. I want to look more into this formula for doors. Guys, is there like something here? Am I doing a Minister of Chance thing? Is that going to happen? Does that need to happen? Do I need to make a Minister of Chance video? Because it feels like there's a lot of meat here. And like, I really like doing the Dr. Omega video. So like doing different kind of like not Doctor Who's, that would be a fun thing to do. It's in production. The wild thing about the Minister of the Chance is that Freeman is now producing an actual TV series. It is! Oh, well, I'll have to, yeah, alright, interesting. Just so you don't miss it, Tesco bread bag was a suggestion from a bit ago. I did miss that, so thank you for bringing that up. Alright, so, the formula for doors was a complex ritual which manipulated the datasets of the universal fabric to generate a gateway out of nothing. The Minister of Chance, a renegade Time Lord, and had his TARDIS revoked as punishment for misusing his powers by the 7th Doctor. As a result, he began to rely on the formula for doors to travel the universe, a much more cumbersome process which did not allow for short-range travel, only journeys between planets or to an alternate plane of existence. Oh. Such as by the Frost Bridge. The technique was known to the Horseman, although during its many years of exile on the Broken World, he lost his finesse, only being able to create crude, unstable, metallic-looking doors. Huh. Hi, Gary! Partisan to Empire 2.0, let's go. I don't know what that is. Is that something I need to look up? Because I need to look up Tesco bread bag first. I tell you what, actually, Tesco bread bag, that might make a good thumbnail. In Ruby Sunday's home, by Christmas Eve 2023, there was a bag with pictures of bread on it. Although unnamed, in the church of Ruby Road, this is the Tesco bread bag. Tesco bread bag is a title based upon conjecture. That's really good. Oh, this is really good. Oh, Eremite. Okay, I could do Eremite. The Eremites were a quasi-religious group on the... Oh, no! Oh! You so-and-so, you rapscallion, you. It's a War in Heaven thing, guys. We're doing the War in Heaven thing again. It's very funny. May I compliment you on your mad laugh, sir? You may. To be fair, it's really, really, really funny. And that's a big thing. I love doing the TARDIS Wiki streams. I get so much joy out of them. Because the stuff that it's beautiful. I don't know. This is the combination of like the very, very good wiki. And like just how insane the Doctor Who universe is. And how rabid people get in the fandom. Like it's just this perfect storm of like madness. And I'm here for it. And I'm here to sup it up every single day. I love it so much. If it was up to me, I would do this every day. This is wonderful. It's short, but look up Cookie Monster. Okay, put that one on the list. Someone remember that in case I forget it. Okay, I'm not going to look at this War in Heaven stuff. Take a shot! The faction have returned. I know, they've been resting for a while, but they back. They back. Oh dear, Steve's Burgers. Is Steve's Burgers also a War in Heaven thing? There's only one way to find out, I guess. It doesn't have it. Oh no. I'll look up Cookie Monster. Oh dear. The Cookie Monster was a puppet. Just like Cloud. According to Rose Tyler, that's still trending, right? There you go, YouTube. Take that. Get this 1,000 views. I said his name. According to Rose Tyler, he had someone's hand the whole hand up him and some bloke doing his voice. Although the Ninth Doctor told Rose that she was gullible for believing that. He told her that the Cookie Monster had no intention of taking over parts of Earth without cookies. When she asked if he really was an alien, he only told her she was gullible again. That is a good suggestion. I'll put Basil Brush in a minute. Although one may read the dialogue indicative of the Doctor just joking around with Rose Tyler, it is not impossible that there is some truth to what the Doctor says, given other sources actually positing characters ranging from Mr. Spoon to Paddington Bear are in fact real, despite many believing they are just fictional characters. This remains open to interpretation. That's great. Let's see what we got here. Basil Brush. I got Sooty in there as well. I will do both of those. And then no more puppets for a little bit. Basil Brush. Basil Brush was an anthropomorphic frog who owned an estate and was incorrectly believed to be fictional. Hang on. Cactus and the Corpse. That sounds a little bit War in Heaven to me. Oh no! Have you done it to me again? Dude, Judge, I've done Jar Jar Binks. I will do Jar Jar Binks again though for this one. Is that just more War in Heaven though? Jar Jar Binks was a member of the Binks clan, whom the Doctor described as being very hospitable and good people. At some point in the late 20th century, around the time George Lucas was writing Star Wars, Jar Jar sent a telepathic message to George, perceiving him as an idea for a character. Lucas wrote him into the... Oh no! Flip Jackson was a fan of the character. The 10th Doctor wore a rucksack which featured a picture of Jar Jar. Great. Oh dear. Scorchy. Scorchy. Okay. The Scorchies were a species that had no form of their own, but took the form of puppets. Another puppet! Puppets that arrived on planets to destroy or enslave their populations. After their bodies were destroyed, the Scorchies were left as incorporeal beings. Is that incorporeal? I don't know. Who cares? The Scorchies then inhabited puppets. The Scorchies naturally inhabited a psychic induction field, which forced those around them to sing. What? What? These are like puppets that make musical episodes happen? That's interesting. Scorchies fed on emotion to survive. Some Scorchies lived on joy from their performances, while others fed on negative emotions such as disappointment and fear. Professor Baffle, the creator of the Scorchie... What? What is this? I feel like that's the main companion piece of this series, because on Doctor Who from Scratch you've got the wheel, and on this it's just, what is this? A few of the Scorchy songs are on YouTube. We Killed the Doctor Dead is a banger. Oh dear. The Scorchies were not always known as Scorchies. Before they were turned into puppets, they were ordinary life forms. The path to becoming Scorchies began when an inventor who would later be known as Professor Baffle invented television, which quickly became very popular among his people. When the planet was invaded by aliens, the people were too glued to their TVs to stop the invaders. They quickly turned to Professor Baffle for a way to save themselves. He made a device that let them escape to another planet using television waves, but he got the compression algorithm wrong and they were left without bodies. The Scorchies then divided into at least 3 distinct groups. The most infamous of these groups was a group led by Mr. Gizzlefizzle. Mr. Grizzlefizzle. Fucking hell. Taking out their revenge on the universe. They toured the Scorchies show around the universe, hypnotizing planets and then burning them. These actions led to the entire race of puppets known as Scorchies. Another group of Scorchies were led by Maggie. They hired bad musicians to perform concerts and fed off the disappointment of the audience. Iris Wildtime once signed an exclusive contract with them. Oh my god, these are incredible. Oh my god. This is legitimately an incredible fucking idea. And like, I don't know, I need more. Oh dear. You need to do city. I'll do city. I'll do city now. Hold on. We'll carry the puppet train on a little bit longer, I guess. There you go. The real puppet in this equation is me. Let's continue. City was an orange bear who starred in the Sooty Show with Sweep, Sue, and Matthew Corbett, the former of which he often got into mischief with. He owned a magic wand, which when used the children in the audience would sing. Why is there a crosshair on his forehead? Why is there a kill shot lined up on Sooty? Exactly. He doesn't normally have a crosshair on his forehead, I'm pretty sure. Unless, does he? Is this a Mandela effect thing? Or is Sooty about to be assassinated? What's happening here? Oh! Now it makes sense. Okay. Alright, let's dig into this. Sick. One day, Matthew Corbett, the host of the Sooty Show, planned to take Sooty, Sweep, and Sue to the seaside for the latest episode. Although this particular episode lacked pictures as they ran out of money, and Matthew wasn't even able to get Sooty an ice cream as consolation. While waiting for the bus, Iris Wildtime and Panda arrived in her bus. Flirting, Panda took Sue to a restaurant in Paris, 62 in the bus, leaving everyone else to get to the seaside conventionally. Bastard. City, Sweep, and Iris began giggling as Iris told them he'd be having some fun today, so Matthew cut the episode due to the advert. Oh, 10 out of 10. Arriving at the seaside, it began to rain, so everyone headed into a chippy to order fish and chips. However, one cloud followed them inside and began raining on their table. Oh, I love it. Iris tried to scold it for ruining the day, as rain clouds always do to British holiday makers, but appeared to just laugh in a cloudish sort of way. While more clouds followed the other patrons outside around, despite their efforts to shelter themselves. Sooty came up with a plan, which she whispered to Iris, so she pulled a gin pistol out of... This is like the best combination of words I've ever read. A gin pistol out of her handbag, and Sooty used his magic wand with the help of the audience, who chanted, "Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy," to give himself and Sweep gin pistols. The trio used the pistols to squirt the clouds, sending them into drunken sleep. Oh my god. Another video. This is incredible. With the menace defeated and squirting Matthew... With the menace defeated and squirting Matthew as they consider him to also be ruining their fun, valid. A marriage of Sooty and Sweep. I ship it. A montage of Sooty and Sweep having fun plays. They paddle in the ocean, but Sooty gets knocked over by a wave, which Sooty found to be funny before he too was knocked over. They rode a donkey until Sweep scared it, and they purchased ice creams, but Sweep tripped over and his landed on Matthew's face. As the sun began to set, Rain, Panda and Sue returned, and Matthew stupidly asked them if they got the gin out of their pistols. They then began squirting him. Before it got too silly, Matthew ended the episode. Oh dear, that was magnificent. I loved that. Absolutely adored that one. Okay, My Little Pony gun. Okay, I'll do that one. I love that that's a real thing. The My Little Pony gun, also simply called the Pony gun, was apparently a top-selling product from the White Peacock Arms... What? Go back to Sooty. Back to Sooty. Okay. Return to Sooty. What? This is peak, but return. Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, during the war in heaven, according to the journal of Fu Manchu's son, after much debate, the syndicate ordered the assassination of Sooty, just in case he talked. The description was accompanied by an image of Sooty with a target to his head. Magnifico! Alright, no, fair. I can see why you wanted me to go back on that one. Oh, God. It was worth it. Yeah, unquestionably that was worth it. The My Little Pony gun, also simply called the Pony gun, was apparently a top-selling product from the White Peacock Arms catalogue. It was described as their most versatile firearm, featuring 3 types of... Wait, it shoots ponies? Like, is this from the War in Heaven? This is from the War in Heaven, isn't it? I notice you're all getting very quiet all of a sudden. Are you all tittering to yourselves? Because you've managed to make me walk into it yet again. The My Little Pony gun, also simply called the Pony gun, was apparently a top... Wait, what happened? See, I started again! Because you threw me off so much. Okay. Featuring 3 types of pony. Butterscotch for sniper fire. Bluebell for maximum penetration. Or Peach Blossom for crowd disperse. It was placed in catalogue number 01320875. It had a long and distinguished provenance and was developed in the 1980s as a camera-friendly riot control weapon for the South Africa. Oh my god, it's an apartheid My Little Pony gun. Jesus Christ. And was developed based on the swine cannons used during the First Crusade. I tell you what. It's not really War in Heaven related though. It's on the fringes of it. Okay. I have to say. So you're saying, what you're saying is, it's a proxy war in heaven. I love that. I tell you what, when I started this stream today, I did not expect to end up at apartheid My Little Pony gun. I love the TardisWiki. Wiki. Oh. It's also the same source as Sooty's assassination. Oh my god, save Sooty. The best timeline. I know. Give me another one, guys. Let's hear it. I tell you what, though. I wish that the TV show of Doctor Who had just a little bit of this kind of creative energy to it. You know what I mean? Because this is amazing. Absolute amazables. Right. I'm going to click a random page and let's see where we go. Jalone was the leader of Madame Garul's staff. He was killed by Sergeant Felder's gang when they invaded her house, searching for the 7th Doctor. Prose, Tragedy Day. Wow, that one was kind of a miss, wasn't it? Gary Lineker. Okay, I'll put Gary Lineker. I'll put Gary Lineker in there. I want crisps now. You fucks. I want some Walker's crisps now because you said that. Where is it? No results matching the query. I don't mean faction paradox. I just mean that kind of energy, like that kind of creativity. Not specifically faction paradox. More's the pity though. What announcement happened? What are you talking about? Was there drama? Was there Lawrence Miles drama? What? Find a link. I'll look at it. If you find a link, I will look at it and read it. Moffat is back. Miles is not happy. Oh. What? Yeah. What's going on? Give me context. Give me links. Post links in chat, and I'll look at it maybe. Lineker. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, Gary Lineker. That would probably be why. Let's try this out. Yes, I realise that now. Gary Lineker played himself in the BBC One Christmas Island, considering yourself one of us. In the oh. Did you put the Discord in the description of the vid? No, I didn't. Because that would have been a smart thing to do. You should all join the Discord though. I'll post a link after the video comes up in the comments. You should all join the Discord. Lawrence Miles is the creator of Faction Paradox. I know. We've spoken about Lawrence Miles many times on this stream. Why does he hate? Yeah, no. Give me that. Give me that. Good. Let me see. There's no big story. I know it's petty drama, but we love petty drama. He was more harsh in his criticism about Moffat than before. What did he say? I'm gonna look it up. Because I'm really curious. And I would like to know. Do you know, if you put Lawrence Miles in, right? If you put Lawrence Miles into Google, the first thing that comes up is obituary. Jesus. The in-universe page is on screen. Gotcha! Thank you! We'll look at that in a second. Doesn't... Oh, okay. Okay, it's like a Twitter thing. Oh, that's not fun. Okay, let's go. I'm not giving X any exposure. Just helping out a fella. I didn't mean you didn't know who Miles was. You are an increasingly learned scholar. I am trying. I would say I'm an enthusiastic student. I'm an enthusiastic and very, very loud student. I would say that. But I appreciate learning. I appreciate being guided. Gary Lineker in Universe. Gary Lineker was a footballer and presenter for Match of the Day. Gary played 567 matches and never once got a yellow or red card. I didn't know that. Wow. That's cool. Respect. In the mid-2010s, Gary once passed a ringing phone to Alan Shearer, who then kicked it away before answering. Gary was present in Wonder Central and Total Sport, where an individual visiting Gary welcomed the Wonder Central, and when talked to, would talk about his football matches. Oof. And then it just says information from invalid source. I stand behind the idea that for the inevitable Faction Paradox movie, when Lawrence Miles appears on screen when he obviously will, he should be played by Moffat's son. Oh dear. Vince Cosmos. I do Vince Cosmos. Vincent Aloysius Cosmos, more simply known as Vince Cosmos, was a glam rocker from the planet Glam. He was also secretly a detective fighting Martian infiltrators on Earth with the help of his personal assistant Poppy Monday and Mr. Chuckles Glister. Is this guy based on David Bowie? Because he sounds very based on David Bowie. Vince was born on... This sounds a lot like lore from like the Spiders of Mars. This is great. Vince was born on Glam, but was believed on Earth to be born in South London in 1948 to Albert Thomas Smedley and Gladys Irene Smedley. At that time, he was known as Vincent Albert Smedley. He was raised in Hammersmith and then in East Dulwich. After the death of his father, he was, as a child, known to be a dreamer who didn't have much going on for him academically. I could relate. Despite this, he got a job in the advertising department of a local newspaper, and in his free time he performed in several bands, including the Scooters and Multiverse. He tried to get into show business but BBC television, but failed. Later, going by the name Vincent Elvin Wishbone, he tried to make songs that used the hippie sound and released an album based on the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. But when Tolkien denied Vince the rights to his books, Vince had to rework many of his songs. During the late 1960s, Vince took refuge in many pub bands. Oh, cool. It's cool you wrote that. As Vince Cosmos, in 1971, Vince signed up with Hell for Leather Promotions, and the notorious Arthur Corris became his manager. At the time, he was known as Vince Cosmos, and he had a series of powerful dreams in which the galactic godhead spoke and dictated the lyrics of Vince's songs. He then released an album of space-themed songs. That gave way to the invention of glam rock, and Vince let go. I went down the wrong hole. And Vince let go of his previous band, the Extraneous Organs, and replaced them with a new band, the Sky Rockets in Flight. And together, they released an album called Those Crazy Martian Cats. I was choking through like half of that. I lost the ability to speak there for a second. On May Day of 1972, Vince and his personal assistant, Poppy Monday, attended a party at Hobbs End hosted by Katie Manning Iris. Oh, I was wondering when Doctor Who was going to come into this. Along with a number of other celebrities, Vincent quickly became a household name, in part for his outrageous outfits and persona, but his popularity also led to several assassination attempts. Oh no! There's an article I want to suggest, but I haven't read the main story it appears in yet, so we'll wait for a future stream. Foreshadowing! I like it. It was believed that one such attempt was when he suffered from a near-fatal shooting at the Hammersmith Odeon in either 1972 or July 1973. Get it right? The truth of the assassination actually involved a pair of Martian time agents who were sent to assassinate Vince by Anthony Merville. But this was foiled when Simon and Panda warned Vince of the imminent... Lots of assassins... Alright, let me roll down and see if it says in the war in heaven. There's a lot here. Interesting. Very interesting. We should rename this stream Let's Give Ryan Ideas for Lore Videos. There's some articles you'll love once they've been written, but they haven't been yet. Well, I'm looking forward to those. Let's try and do a couple more, and then we'll wrap this up. Is the War in Heaven the one with the vampires? Kinda. Let's go. There are vampires. I also learned today that there's Sooty as well. Yeah, that is the Eternal War. So basically, the War in Heaven was a war against an entity that's existence kept on like shifting. And the idea was that like maybe it's this big thing, maybe it's that big thing, maybe it's the concept of adversary itself, maybe it's the audience itself. Like it's a very like conceptual kind of thing. It's kind of like a war against an enemy that like you never actually know what the enemy is. And that's both like from a Doyleist perspective and a Watsonian perspective as well. It's pretty interesting. It's very crazy. So that's a big thing about it. It's been like kind of mythologized in the Doctor Who like fandom because of just how like out of pocket it is, and the fact that like they kind of sort of maybe cribbed a few notes from it, maybe in the TV show without permission. But we won't get into that now. We'll see how the new run of Doctor Who on TV does, and then maybe I'll make that video. Maybe. How many wars did the Time Lords have? Even the name Last Great Time War involves multiple Time Wars. Yeah, they had multiple Time Wars. There were lots of Time Wars. They had Time Wars for days. Want to check that you saw my suggestion a bit above, not Peter the other one. Let me see. Spectrum, Mr. On Battle. All right. This has been a good stream. Let's take a looky look. A battle between Spectrum and the Mysterons occurred on the London Carview, following I don't know what that word is. Carview, following Captain Scarlet's Mysteronization. I'm just checking to see if this is in the War in Heaven. Stephen Moffat in universe. That's a finale. We've got to end on that one. We've got to end on the stream on that one. That's incredible. I'm not going to top that. A battle between Spectrum and the... Yeah. As documented in Spectrum file, after Captain Scarlet was killed in a motor accident, he was brought back by the Mysterons, leading to an attempt to assassinate the world president. Captain Blue shot Captain Scarlet, sending him plunging 800 feet. He overcame his injuries and was freed from Mysteron control. The London Carview was later reported as having... What does this have to do with Doctor Who? This is just Captain Scarlet lore. Destroy being a battle between Spectrum and their new foes, the Mysterons. What is, what? Captain Scarlet and Captain Blue's confrontation was documented on Spectrum file with... What is this? Can someone explain this to me in the chat? Like, why, what is the connection to Doctor Who? Is it this? Is it the location? I don't know yet, because it doesn't have a page. Okay. We've permanently traumatized the poor chap with City. Yeah, it's okay. Do you have any idea how many layers of trauma that I have? I mean, I do this willingly. TV21, the TV21 shared universe between the Gary Anderson shows and the Dalek Chronicles. Okay. Check the citations. Okay. I will check one of these. Let's check this one. This random one here. I do want to know, though. I'm curious. Very curious indeed. Marineville Ablaze was a short story penned in TV Century 21 that contained elements from the Doctor Who universe. framed as the front page for an in-universe periodical. The titular article detailed events relating to a Stingray story, while other articles mentioned Unity City, a location first... Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that, the Bloodletters. It's a little bit like that. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Now let's do the grand finale of today's stream. Stephen Moffat. I've never heard of him before. Let's have a look. In universe, sort of same principle. Yeah, close enough. I'll get it accurate when I inevitably do something relating to it. Stephen Moffat was credited with writing down the afterword to a book of fiction about the Doctor, under dictation from a temporarily displaced Professor Candy, who had been stranded in 1996 Birmingham by the Doctor. Prose afterword. In 2013, when Peter Capaldi was cast to play the 12th Doctor in Doctor Who, Capaldi attended a meeting with Stephen Moffat, which Capaldi prepared for by reading past issues of Doctor Who magazine. That's not in universe. In a metafiction universe visited by the 11th Doctor, where he existed purely as fiction, a certain Stephen was the head writer of Doctor Who. Another in-universe version. There's so many Stephen Moffats! Oh my god! Jesus! Another in-universe version of showrunner Stephen Moffat appeared in the Five-ish Doctors reboot, played by the real Stephen Moffat. In this parodical Moffat was the showrunner of Doctor Who, like his real counterparts, but had an exaggerated childish personality, being seen playing with Doctor Who action figures in an overtly childhood manner when he knew no one was looking. Let's look up Afterword, because that seems like the real nugget there. Afterword was the final story in the anthology Decalogue-Free Consequences. It was written by Stephen Moffat and served as a sort of comical epilogue to continuity errors, enlightening the reader about Professor Candy's fate. Oh. Have you seen Ken Dodd's Diddy Man on that page? What? No. Not biting today. The intelligent tree spores of Xandar 6 are among the cultures who nearly discover the Doctor's existence, only to have him go back in time and introduce himself into their popular culture as a fictional character. One of his... Oh! That's what it's about? That's really clever. Summary. Okay, I'll do the summary. Professor Candy dictates to one Stephen Moffat an afterword to a book of fiction about the Doctor. After explaining to the reader that they had become too involved in the history of the planet, the Doctor had been known to use some sort of panic button to retcon all recordings of their activities there into fiction of some sort. Candy appeals to the Doctor, who he knows will be reading the book, to finally return him to his hometown. Oh my god! Wow! So, the news flash, I guess, breaking news. Doctor Who is fucking real. Thanks to Stephen Moffat. Oh, unbelievable. Okay. Doctor Who real. So, this has been deep diving into the TardisWiki, Wiki, or whatever we call this. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to, do the stuff. And, 1 second, really quickly. Let me just time out this user really quickly. Okay. Alright, so, this has been Doctor Who from scratch. We'll catch you next week. I'll do this again next week, because it seems like y'all like this. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to watch the other videos. Make sure to tune in next week, where we'll be doing more TardisWiki Wiki stuff. And it's going to be amazing, because this one was amazing. I've known Doctor Who as canon to real life. I know! What a revelation! And on that revelation, I'm about to say a goodbye. So, goodbye.